know any of the mechanism happening in the mind of, or in the neurons specifically, I should think, of an epileptic person? How is carbohydrate restriction helping the neurons respond better, if that's what's happening?
It's they don't know for certain. There are like multiple possible mechanisms, and it may be that it is more than one, and different mechanisms at work in different people. You know, different people have different kinds of seizures or different triggers. So I mean, the biggest things, I think, the biggest possible explanations are that a ketogenic diet helps to normalize the cell membrane potential. So like the electrochemical gradient outside the cell membrane, we need certain minerals and certain electrolytes to be in the proper balance so that neurons fire and communicate when they're supposed to, and so that they don't fire and communicate when they're not supposed to. And when things don't happen properly like that, you could have a seizure. So the fact that keto helps to normalize that electrochemical potential, some kids and adults with epilepsy may also be triggered by really, rapid or large fluctuations in blood glucose or insulin. And so to the extent that that may be causing problems for people, we know that keto diets really help to even out the blood glucose and insulin levels. And it could be that the ketones themselves are providing some therapeutic benefit to the brain. And I mean, that's just three. There's a huge list. And they're, like I said, they're not, or there's, I think, reduced glutamate synthesis. There's increased gamma aminobutyric acid synthesis, which is a more calming neurotransmitter rather than the glutamate, which is more excitatory. So there's so many different things. And we don't know which one of those is responsible. I think it probably is, multiple of them working together in any one individual.
I think, for parents who have children, with epilepsy, it's tough for them. It's as tough for the parents as for the child. It's terrifying, traumatic as well to watch, because that's one thing I've heard from one parent. So it's traumatic seeing my child on the floor.
Yeah, well, and
so it's something to try, right? I mean, there's no...
Absolutely. I mean, I'm not a doctor, but I am a nutritionist, and we've been to the same conferences sometimes. We hear story after story from families with an infant or a child who was seizing hundreds of times a day. And within 2 days on the ketogenic diet, the seizures were gone. And again, it doesn't work that miraculously for everybody, but in a severe extreme situation like that, why wouldn't you? It's just food. It's just a diet. There's no crazy side effects from medication. And if I can promote a website, the world premier organization for the ketogenic diet for epilepsy, for anyone out there that needs it, is the Charlie Foundation. I think it's charliefoundation.org, or maybe the Charlie Foundation. You just search for Charlie Foundation, it'll come up. I think it's like you said, it's worth trying. Why wouldn't you try this when your child is seizing multiple times a day? And they could either be completely seizure free, or at least have many, many fewer and less severe seizures just by changing their diet.
Mm-hmm. And it's, I mean, I can assure people it's not as restrictive as you might think. You can
in fact, and I hate to keep going on, but because I actually forgot, I did want to say this. For epilepsy, not everyone even needs a keto diet. Some people can just go low-ish carb. Some people can actually do gluten-free, casein-free, and they'll be seizure-free. And some people, they call it the medium, or so modified Atkins, or the medium chain triglyceride diet. You could do something more like an Atkins diet. So you're going to be able to have more protein, and you could eat, some people even respond well with a little bit higher carbohydrate as long as they get enough MCT oil, so they still have ketones. So they don't even have to do a strict ketogenic diet, but that really depends on the individual. Everybody responds to something differently.